Alrighty then. Sorry that took a bit longer than I thought. Okay, there's my face for my sins. How's everyone doing? Oh, yep, so I see. The deluxe version of Talia, and we're all thrilled to have you here. Oh yeah, what were they offering? Something like soup? Soupe? Soupe? Soupe sounds cool. Super T91. Yikes. Talia, she has the best emotes. She has the hype squid. Hey Nolis, how you doing? You're just in time for me actually starting. Okay, so to recap, we found damning evidence that the prosecutor was guilty for the entire frame job for our rival Edgy, who is totally in love with Phoenix. But of course, because it's a visual novel, we had no choice but to confront him alone. So of course he pulled out a taser and stole it. Anything with Pikmin's good. That's just science. Of course, I have the bread emote, which any of my subscribers can use. Hint, hint. And of course, I believe I'll be creating a new one involving tea. Okay, without any further ado, December the 28th, 9:51 AM, District Court Defendant Lobby Number 2. Thank you for pressing bread to pay respects. This is it. Judgment Day. Today things are going to get settled at last. A lot of things. What's the big idea? Sorry, Nick. I only touched your shoulder. I guess the shock hasn't worn off from my run-in with the stun gun yesterday. Anyhow, today's the last day of the trial. Good luck, Nick. Yeah, thanks, Mayor. Edgeworth is looking glum as always. I hope Von Karma doesn't push him too hard. Whoa. What are you doing? Sorry, I'm sorry. I just thought I'd cheer you up with a pat on the back. Mayor, maybe you should go outside and discharge. Right, good idea. Try not to electrocute anyone on your way out. Pal. What's going into that girl? Detective Gumshoe. Morning, Mr. Edgeworth. Good morning. How'd it go, Detective? Oh, how'd it go, Detective? Apparently no less, apparently. Have no fear. As promised, I've captured our runaway caretaker. I just brought him in. Took all night, pal. Thanks, Detective Gumshoe. You must be tired. Actually, after that shock I got on the way in, I feel pretty good. Yogi says he's forgotten his own name, but that has to be a lie. Why would he want revenge on Edgeworth if he couldn't remember his past? He does remember, and I'm going to prove it. December the 28th, 10 AM, District Court, Courtroom number 3. Yeah, I suppose he is named Detective. I wonder, maybe his full name is, Actually, I think his full name is actually Dick Gumshoe, so his name is actually Detective. Court is now in session for the trial of Miles Edgeworth. The defense is ready, Your Honor. The prosecution is ready. Right. Very well. We have reached the final day of our proceedings in this trial. I ask that the prosecution submit decisive evidence. Understood. Come on, don't be awed into silence by every little thing he says. Very well. Mr. Montcalm, your opening statement? Right. Thanks to Detective Gumshoe's efforts, the rental shop caretaker has been arrested. In yesterday's trial, the defense asserted that the caretaker was the murderer. However, the caretaker has yet to confirm this. The only way to prove the defendant innocent is with a full confession. I would like to ask the defense to cross-examine him as much as necessary. Very well. Please bring the witness into the courtroom. Okay, we just have to prove this guy is actually, perfectly sane. Ladies and gentlemen of the court, I believe you'll remember our witness. He lives in the boat rental shop on the lake, from where he witnessed the incident. In addition, he has currently lost the memory of his name and identity. Witness? Why did you run away yesterday? The witness was not running away, as he will now testify. I see. Very well. Please begin your testimony. I'm very sorry, just leaving yesterday like I did. But I wasn't running away or nothing. I went to buy food for Polly, see? I figured I got nothing to do with this incident anyhow. I've completely forgotten what voice I was doing for him. I mean, I need one of those motive things, right? And I don't got one. Yeah, that'll do. So my test yesterday stands as it is. Very well. Let's begin the cross-examination, shall we? He has to know his name. Yanni Yogi. You're Yanni Yogi, and I'm gonna prove it. Okay. It's called what you did running away and not just leaving. You heard Larry's testimony and realized you were in danger. Quire indeed, Kara. Quire indeed. Now, Mr. Wright, there is no need to rush to conclusions. As I said, the witness was not running away. Listen to the testimony. He sure seems relaxed. In fact, they both do. Von Karma and Yagi Yogi. Then why'd you leave? He's just about to say why. It is so hard for you to just quietly listen while someone is talking. If I sat quietly, Edgeworth would be guilty in 3 minutes. Food. Food. I completely forgotten the voice I was using. Well, Polly is a bit of a gourmet. And you see? She only eats these high-quality bird pellets from France. They only have them in the big pet shop downtown. But you weren't arrested until this morning. Why'd you go back to the caretaker's shack? Well, I kind of got lost, you see. The witness has trouble remembering things sometimes. When the police apprehended him, he was on his way back to the shack. Yeah, right. Nice try, Von Karma. No one's gonna believe that. I see. So he was lost. Please, Your Honor, come to your senses. You're very optimistic, Mr. Wright. You're very optimistic. You've lost much of your memory, is that correct? Yep. Seems like it. Then how could you know that you don't have anything to do with this incident? Or maybe you're lying about not having your memory, You know exactly who you are. The witness has testified quite clearly that he has no memory of who he is. If you claim he's lying, then show the court proof. How am I supposed to prove what's going on in that old cottage's head? That's impossible. I'm glad you come to your senses, Mr. Wright. Very well, witness. Please continue. How can you say you had no motive? I say you do. You had a grudge against Edgeworth and the victim, Robert Hammond. That's why you took revenge on them, right? It's, revenge highlighted in red, just so you know it's revenge. Please don't make me repeat myself, Mr. Wright. This witness has no memory of anything beyond several years ago. He can't hold a grudge. It's impossible. I have to prove he's lying about his memory. Otherwise it's going to be this same thing over and over until the trial ends. Might I say something, Mr. Wright? Yes, Your Honor. You've been saying the same thing now over and over. Been calling the witness's memory of the past or lack thereof into question. But does this really have anything to do with the current case? Of course, Your Honor. The witness has said he has nothing to do with this case, and no motive. Both of these statements are lies. Lies. The filthy boat boy lies. Order? Order? Mr. Wright, that is a serious problem with your claim. Or are you saying you know who this witness is? Of course, Your Honor. Now this is interesting. I would like to know myself. So who is he? Don't play Von Karma. Mr. Wright, please tell us this witness's name. I could have sworn it was Gordon Freeman. His name is Yanni Yogi, a former court bailiff. Yogi? That name seems familiar. Oh! Yanni Yogi, from the DL6 incident. It figures the judge would have heard of it. It was such a famous case. How's everyone doing this evening, anyway? But what does this mean? Your Honor, if this man is Mr. Yogi, then he has a clear motive. Jumping to conclusions again, Mr. Wright. This witness is Yanni Yogi. Fascinating. However, how would you propose to prove this to the court? This is a court of law, as you may recall. You need proof. allow me to repeat once more that the witness has lost his memory. This is it. I have to do this now. If I can't prove he's Yogi right here, right now, then I've got nowhere else to go. Nick, how are you going to prove it? How can you prove that he's Yanni Yogi? It's okay, it's actually quite simple. Hey Kiara, how you doing? I'm not bad. Obviously I had to be up early for work. Bit of a crazy day, because I had to clear up the freezer. And well, I've had some sleep, made and eaten a curry, and now I'm playing Phoenix Wright. Your Honor, please take this man's fingerprints. Then we'll compare them to the fingerprints on file for Yanni Yogi 15 years ago. I see. That makes sense. Huh? I'm so very, very sorry, Mr. Wright. Yep, it is indeed Coral, Kiara. Why? The witness has no fingerprints. What? What? No fingerprints? You see, before I worked as a caretaker, I worked at a chemical plant. Yep, Coral does indeed mean cool. I burnt my fingers working with the stuff, yup. Common misconception, actually. If you burn your fingers off chemically, your fingerprints will still grow back in the same pattern as before. You actually need to surgically have skin implanted to stop your fingerprints growing back. What? Yogi, you sneak. You burn your fingerprints off to hide your past. Well, if the witness has no fingerprints... Yep, famously a surgeon did it for a crime boss. Luckily the crime boss in question was convicted on other evidence, and the surgeon in question found himself behind bars for performing the operation. Well, if the witness has no fingerprints, I guess we'll not be able to prove his identity. No. Well, what were you doing to Mr. Wright? It seems the case has been decided. No. No. I know what happened. I know everything. I just can't prove it. But no, I can't let it end like this. I can't lose. There has to be another way. There is no one who can testify as to who this witness is. No one. Nick, what are we going to do? I didn't even consider that he might have erased his fingerprints. What do I do? Well, Mr. Wright, perhaps you'd like to cross-examine his parrot for a little comic relief, Yeah, very funny. You're a sore winner, Von Karma. Wait a second. Cross-examine his parrot? What is it, Nick? No, you're not going to... Your Honor. The defence would like to take Mr. Von Karma up on his proposal. Take Mr. Von Karma up? On my proposal? Exactly, Your Honor. I would like to cross-examine the witness's pet parrot. My voice. Order? Order? Well, what do you think, Mr. Von Karma? Need you even ask? This is a farce. I object. Objection! Wait a second. You're the one who suggested I cross-examine the parrot, Von Karma. Guess on your own level, Von Karma. I have a right to do as you suggested. Amazing. Well, if you're so desperate, then please, be my guest. Of course, should you go through with this, and nothing comes of it, then I hope you're ready for the consequences. Nick, this is crazy! Well, still want to go through with your little game? Yep, I'm surprised the entire thing hasn't collapsed at this point. Yes, I'm doing it. Let the parrots take the stand! I will cross-examine her, Your Honour. This is the most ridiculous thing I have ever heard. What next? Will you be defending a killer whale? Von Karma's rigged every person's testimony, every piece of evidence. Except the parrot. She's my last chance. At least I think so. Bailiff? Bailiff? Wait, I've completely forgotten how I'm doing the judge's voice. Bailiff, bring in the parrot. He's a pretty Polly. He's pretty Polly. That's quite a bird. Please tell us your name. Name. The witness is ignoring me. It must hurt to be ignored by a bird. Very well, witness. Who is your owner? Please, testify for us. Just in case everyone hasn't guessed, I love every part of this. Hello, hello. Hi. Certainly, the most concise testimony we've had so far. Very well, begin your cross-examination. Right. What are you going to do, Nick? I don't know. What do we do, Mayor? Hey, Dover Queen, how you doing? Okay. Witness, you can't just say hello and expect us to guess anywhere. I want you to testify. Mayor, you talk to her. Right. What do I say? That's good. As I recall 2 days ago. But Polly, have we forgotten something? Quack! Don't forget DL6. Quack! The nice thing about Healy, of course, is you can literally do it by doing nothing. If I can get Polly to say that here, that will prove that the caretaker had something to do with DL6. Polly, have we forgotten something? Hello, quack! That's not what you're supposed to say. Forgot. Something we forgot. Hello, quack! Uh-oh, it's not working, Nick. She won't say it. This is ridiculous. Why won't she say it? Something the matter, Mr. Wright. Wait. Don't tell me Von Karma expected this. He couldn't have retrained the parrot, could he? Did he train her not to respond when we asked if we'd forgotten anything? Witness, you're here to speak. You must speak to me.
Frankly, I can't believe that you are speaking to the parrot.
Well, I guess we should still try to get some information out of her. Yeah, that would actually be a pretty interesting twist, Kara. We need to show the judge that her owner is Mr. Yogi. Maybe I'll get her to say the number of that safe. Huh? The safe? Why? Let's just try to get her to say anything, okay? Polly, what's the number to the safe in the shack? 1228. 1228. My, what a reckless parrot! Well, Mr. Wright, you're claiming that this number has something to do with the caretaker? Oh wait, that's the date of the incident. Actually, it does. That's why I had her say it.
Huh, ridiculous. How can the number to a safe tell us who the caretaker is? Show us your proof. What could possibly link this number to the caretaker's true identity?
That should do it.
The DL6 case file. What is this obsession you have that case?
Mr. Wright, where in this file is something relating to the safe number? It's on the case summary page. The case summary? Specifically the date on which the DL6 incident occurred. Sorry about my voice, it's starting to fail a bit. The date of the incident? December the 28th. Why, that's today's date, 15 years ago. And the number on that safe is 1228. Ah! He used the date of the DL6 incident as the number for his safe, Your Honor. That's how important the date was to him. I see. It certainly is an interesting coincidence. People do often set their secret numbers to dates.
Ah, this is not tangible proof. I set my ATM's card's number to 0001 because I'm number 1. And also reckless at security. This has nothing to do with a date. Nothing.
Indeed. Alone is a little weak for evidence in a murder trial. We'll need some other corroborating evidence. Where am I going to find that? Nick, we're getting closer. One more, if we can get one more piece of evidence. Right, but what? Very well, witness. You may continue. Guess it was the same parrot then. Maybe I should get her to say her name. Polly, what's your name? Polly! Ah!
Mr. Wright.
Mr. Wright, I think we've established that this parrot is named Polly. Does this have anything to do with her owner's identity? Yes, it does.
Huh, fascinating. Claim that the parrot's name will prove her owner's identity. Then show us this proof.
Nick, don't you think you're taking the bluffing a little too far? Listen, we're not here to answer the questions of who is the caretaker. We're here to prove that he is Yanni Yogi. All we have to do is tie the name Polly to Yogi. Your Honor, The proof that the parrot's name reveals the caretaker's identity is... Okay, suspect data. His fiancée was named Polly Jenkins. A DR6 case file? Again?
That's quite a large file you have there. Which page is this proof on, then? Show us, or stop wasting our time.
Very well. Mr. Wright, please show us the page. Where in this file is the information connected to this parrot's name? It's on the suspect data page. This page is all the information about Yanni Yogi. Right after he was arrested, his fiancée committed suicide. See? Indeed. It does say that, yes. What was his fiancée's name? Polly Jenkins. Polly. Exactly, Your Honour. He wanted to remember the name of his fiancée who committed suicide. That's why he named his parrot after her. I see. I guess that is possible.
Bah, a mere coincidence, that is all. My granddaughter has a dog she calls Phoenix.
I don't know, which, interestingly enough, doesn't actually come up when she shows up later.
Well, Miss Phoenix Wright, does this make you my granddaughter's fiancé? She's only 7 years old.
No, wait. He said granddaughter, not daughter. Wait, does this mean Francesca Wright has kids? That's enough. I think we've reached a conclusion here.
This is a mere coincidence, that is all.
True, that is a possibility. However, two coincidences at the same time seems more like a pattern to me.
What are you saying?
Summon the caretaker of the boat shop. Immediately. Witness? Tell us your name.
Wait. This witness, he doesn't remember.
No, it's okay. Oh. That's a hard stare, alright. I've accomplished what I wanted to do. I'm done. Nick, he looks totally different. This is the real Mr. Yogi, I think. Finally. He's been acting feeble to hide his true identity. Acting for 15 years. Well, let me ask you again. Please state your name for the cause. My name is Yanni Yogi. 15 years ago, I served as a bailiff in this very court. I have no idea why I just gave him the judge's voice. Order! Order! Yanni Yogi! So was it you who killed Robert Hammond? And tried to frame Marge Edgeworth for his death? Yes, it was me. I did it. They put me on the witness stand 15 years ago. Robert Hammond. He said I was mentally unsound. He told me it would make me innocent, get me off the hook. So I pretended to have brain damage. I was innocent, really, but he didn't believe me. We won the trial, but I lost everything. I lost my job, my fiancée, my social standing. Then, this year, 15 years later, a package arrived. It was a letter and a pistol. The plan was written out in careful detail. It was a plan for me to take revenge on the people who ruined my life. I didn't care who had sent it. I thought this was my chance after 15 years. This was it. Finally, a chance to have revenge on Robert Hammond and Miles Edgeworth. I have no regrets. Wait a moment. Revenge? Against Miles Edgeworth? What do you mean? I'm not at liberty to speak on that matter. Why didn't you ask Mr. Edgeworth yourself? Anyway, I admit it. I was the one who killed Robert Hammond.
Von Karma? Where is Mr. Yogi? Under arrest, Your Honor. I saw no room for error in his confession. Then, the defendant Marge Edgeworth is... innocent, in this case at least. Very well. Will the defendant please take the stand?
Here we go.
There are a few mysteries left unsolved. Still, you are cleared of suspicion for this particular case. So I'd like to pass judgment on the murder of Robert Hammond. Any objections?
I don't believe it. Why isn't Von Karma saying anything?
Very well. This court finds the defendant, Mr. Miles Edgeworth.
Ding ding ding. Case over. And in 42 minutes, no less.
That is all. This court is adjourned.
Celebratory TA ASMR.
Objection!
Did someone just say objection?
It wasn't Von Karma.
Wait, but that means...
No.
Edgeworth?
Your Honour? I object to your judgment.
What do you mean?
I'm not innocent at all. As we have heard, Yanioki killed Robert Hammond in revenge. But revenge for what? Nick, Edgeworth is trying to confess. He's going to say he's guilty. He's going to tell them he was the murderer in the DL6 incident. He's going to tell them he killed his own dad.
Uh-oh, what do I do? The judgment has already been passed. I object to Edgeworth's outburst. Didn't something like this happen yesterday too? I believe a certain witness raised an objection after the guilty verdict was passed.
That would be Larry.
We must hear this new statement. We must hear Mars Edgeworth. He's right. We have a duty to hear Mr. Edgeworth out.
Hey, I don't save scum, I save win. For 15 years, I have had a recurring dream. A nightmare. It is only a nightmare. That is what I told myself. But now I know it wasn't a dream. Yanioki wasn't the killer.
You mean in the instant where your father died?
From the distance of the shot, it wasn't a suicide either. Everything was as clear as day. The murderer, the criminal in the DL6 incident, it was me. Dio. Your Honour, I confess my guilt. Yep, I'm just safe slumming like a lawyer in a real court. I am guilty for the DL6, the statute of limitations of which ends today. The culprit is me. I am pointing elsewhere because it's actually quite hard to point at yourself.
Order! Order! This is certainly unexpected. The defendant, declared innocent, is confessing to a different crime. A crime for which the statute of limitations runs out today. I'm not really sure how I should deal with this.
Hey Invisible Girl, how's it going? Thanks for the raid of 7 raiders. Objection indeed. How are you doing this evening? Oh, welcome raiders. I'm BisectedBrioche. You can call me Erin if you prefer. I'm a trans streamer. At the moment, I'm streaming Phoenix Wright, as you can see. I also stream Metroid, a lot of Metroid. Well, yep, I've been recently streaming Metroid Prime on the original hardware, while cosplaying Zero Suit Samus. I mean, there's a VOD of that if you want to watch it. That'll be wrapping up soon, and soon I'll be streaming Night in the Woods, hopefully while cosplaying May. So yep, I guess my thing is just streaming while cosplaying, except on Fridays, in which case I'm streaming Phoenix Wright because I have D&D later. Oh yep, Metroid Prime on the GameCube, best enjoyed on its original hardware. It is really one of my favourite games of all time, so I'm really hyped that I've been streaming it lately. And that's on Mondays and Wednesdays if anyone's interested to see the rest. I'm just about reaching the end game. Well, anyway, I hope everyone's having a lovely evening. I'll just continue here. Yes, Kiara, you should. Everyone should play a Metroid game at least once in their life. Ideally several. Oh, what's that noise? Oh, thanks for the follow, Neko Puff. I hope I prove entertaining. Anywho.
Bah. It's obvious. We hold a trial right here, right now, right here, right now, right here, right now. We try this man for a crime of 15 years ago.
It was Neko.
I think I would like to take a 5-minute recess.
Yep. Fusion is a bit of a controversial opinion, but I think the best two 2D Metroid games are Fusion and Zero Mission. Zero Mission being a remake of the first game, built on Fusion's engine. Oh hey QWERTY Stop, how you doing? Okay. Happy lurking invisible. Good luck with the grants.
During this time, I will consider the appropriate course of action to take. Court is adjourned.
December the 28th, 2:24 PM. District Court, Defendant Lobby Number 2. I'm sorry, right? I've just wasted all your effort.
Mr. Edgeworth, I don't believe it, sir. I mean, you killed your dad.
I didn't want to believe it myself, Detective. But it's the truth. I deserve to be punished. Punish me, Daddy. Punish me. Sorry. That just slips out. Murder is murder, no matter what the circumstances. I mean, with his confession, it was actually manslaughter, but whatever.
This is crazy. Just crazy.
Nick, what are you doing?
Huh? Oh, I was just reading through the court record once more. I'm getting my case ready.
Your case? For what? Oh, thanks, Nico. Yeah, I've been trying... I basically started streaming to improve my voice, so... Okay, that's crazy, QWERTY. Oh, yep, Fatboy Slim. I keep forgetting he wasn't really that well known. I guess he was bigger in the UK, wasn't he? Don't know how well known he was in America. And yeah, basically I started streaming to improve my voice while I was transitioning. So yep, I like to sort of stream games like this where I can do a load of different voices just to strengthen my vocal cords. Oh, thank you, Nico. Yeah, basically I exercise my voice with these games, and I practice my sort of the voice I want to use for stuff like Metroid Prime. Your case for what?
Huh? Isn't it obvious? I'm gonna prove that Marge Edgeworth is innocent. What are you talking about, pal? He just admitted to it.
Neko, Japanese for cat. Alright, I said Neko before, but I assumed when you said Nico. Oh, right. You're surprised I pronounced it right. Hey, I grew up in the 90s. I had a weeb phase. I speak fangirl Japanese. I admit it. Plus, you know, I'm going to be dressing as a cat girl anyway when I start streaming Night in the Woods, so... No less. No idea, to be honest. I just know I heard 2 of his songs, as Fatboy Slim, in movies as a kid, and never knew what either of them were. Ah, fair enough. Yep. And ironically, with an I, it'll probably get pronounced Nico. Which sounds like off-brand Nike. Crazy how Romanized Japanese actually has identical pronunciation to classical Latin, but I digress.
He confessed he did. In court.
I'm sorry, Edgeworth. Wait.
I'm sorry, Edgeworth, but I don't believe your nightmare.
What?
It's just a dream. It's not real. The truth is right here in this court record. In any case, tightening your belts, the real fight is just beginning.
Ah, yeah. I tried to learn Japanese when I was little, but... well, a teenager, but... I just can't get past learning a new alphabet, so I gave up. I have been learning Welsh and French on Duolingo, though. And I do actually speak a bit of Latin. Yeah, my handwriting is atrocious, regardless of what language I'm writing in myself.
I'll prove you're innocent. Trust me.
Yeah, I'm using Duolingo as well. Right? I think I've got I'm getting quite close to a 1,000-day streak, actually. No less. Hell, when I was a kid, I was sure Hero was pronounced Hyro. To be fair, my first exposure to the name was a default name in Pokemon Gold, and Pokemon was my only exposure to Japanese media, until like 15 when I started living on the internet. Yeah, same to be honest. I mean, I got a lot of stuff from magazines, but those were magazines about Pokemon, so yeah. December the 28th, 2:30 PM, District Court, Courtroom number 3.
Now then, I would like to resume our trial. Judge, Miles Edgeworth has admitted his own guilt. He has confessed his crime. Let us begin by hearing his testimony. Then, though pointless, let the defense do their cross-examining.
You watched the Neko Puff, you watched the Sailor Moon anime dubbed when you were a kid, and couldn't read it when you got internet when you were 14. You watched it in Japanese. Ah, yep. I love Sailor Moon, so... ah, that's fine. My typing gets terrible when I'm sleepy, so it's actually terrible right now.
Then, though pointless, let the defense do their cross-examining. The statute of limitations on the DR6 incident runs out today. Though it is unconventional for me, I'd like to run this one by the book. I see. Does the defense have any objections? No, Your Honor. Von Karma, you knew this was going to happen from the very beginning, didn't you?
Yeah, same. To be honest, I think Sailor Mercury is the reason I want blue hair. Yep, they really did turn them into from a lesbian couple to incestuous cousins. Plus, of course, Sailor Uranus is a non-binary icon. Yeah, that's fair enough. I like to read as well. Although, to be honest, I'd take a good dub, and, you know, you can actually... We're a long way past 4Kids, so you can actually get quite decent dubs now. I mean, I think the creator of Ghost in the Shell said the English dub's actually his preferred one. And the creator of Cowboy Bebop said something similar.
Very well. Will Marge Edgeworth take the stand?
That one went through my nose.
Will the witness state his name and profession?
Miles Edgeworth, I'm a prosecuting attorney.
Mr. Edgeworth, 15 years ago you mistakenly killed your father, Gregory Edgeworth. Is this correct?
It is correct.
Then testify about this matter to the court. When Edgeworth was telling me about his dream yesterday, I noticed something. One detail didn't quite fit. That will be the key, but only if I can get it to work.
Please, please. Yeah, you're right, Neko. It's nice to watch her show in its original language. That day, I had gone to the courtroom to observe one of my father's trials. As we went to leave, an earthquake struck, trapping us in the elevator. My father and Mr. Yogi lost their composure and began to argue. Just then, something heavy fell at my feet. I picked it up and threw it at Mr. Yogi. I wanted them to stop fighting. Super Talia DX redeemed random trivia. Okay, random trivia. Since we mentioned earlier that Detective Gumshoe's name is actually Detective Dick Gumshoe, meaning detective, detective, detective. The Latin name for gorilla is gorilla, gorilla, gorilla. And the Latin name for toad is buffo, buffo, which translates as toad, toad. Oh yeah, I know India has quite a thriving tradition of musicals and horror movies, but I've never really watched them. I picked it up and threw it at Mr. Yogi. I wanted to stop them fighting. A moment later, there was a single gunshot and a scream. It was a terrible scream. I remember it to this day. That's all.
And until now, you thought this memory was a dream.
We were stuck in that elevator for 5 hours. The oxygen in the elevator ran out, and I lost my memory of the events.
Bah, the same claim Mr. Yogi has made. Very well. Mr. Wright, your cross-examination, please. Yes, Your Honour.
Okay. Pardon me. Sorry, I got a bit of pepper in my throat there. What was the trial your father was involved on that day? I don't remember things very clearly. Only 2 things. I know my father lost and Mr. Von Kamm was the prosecuting attorney.
Mr. Von Kamm, you were handling that case? It was 15 years ago. I don't quite remember the details.
That was when Edgeworth pointed out the problem in the Von Kammer's evidence. Just to be clear, that was Edgeworth's father, not this Edgeworth.
So were there 3 people, including yourself, trapped in the elevator?
Yes, myself, my father and Yanni Yogi. We were fine at first. But then as time passed and no one came to help... What did you do then? I was a 9-year-old boy at the time. What could I do? I was scared, trembling in the corner. But then... What was it? A pistol. I assumed it was the bailiff Yenny Yogi's. The safety must have come off when it fell from his holster.
And you picked it up. What happened next?
Did you know it was a pistol when you threw it? I think I knew. I knew it was dangerous. But the air was getting so thick, I panicked. It's funny how saying the air's getting thin and the air's getting thick can actually mean the same thing.
So, you're saying you threw the pistol at Mr. Yogi?
I was in a daze. The gun fired once? Yes. I think after I threw it, I lost consciousness. Since then, they've echoed in my head every day. The gunshot, that horrible scream.
The scream.
To this day. Yes, I can practically hear it now. I doubt I will ever forget that scream, as long as I live. There it is. One part of that testimony clearly contradicts the evidence. But I don't know what it means. I'd better find out and quick. Okay, so, I think... Okay, so he was shot in the heart, so he must have died instantly, right? A single gunshot. When the gun was fired twice.
Are you sure you only heard one gunshot?
Yes, I'm sure of that. I heard the shot and the scream. Then everything faded. I was unconscious until the rescuers came.
I see. No, Your Honour. Unfortunately, you don't. Look at this file one more time. This plainly contradicts the witness's testimony. You do enjoy dragging out that file, don't you? I don't accept the evidence, unless you can tell us what page it's on. Which page contradicts Mr. Miles Edgeworth's testimony?
Look at the victim data in this file. It says quite plainly, the murder weapon was fired twice. Got him. Miles Edgeworth only heard one gunshot, yet the murder weapon was fired twice. The first shot was the accidental firing when the pistol was thrown. So, who fired the remaining shot? Was there perhaps another shooter who fired that second shot?
Your Honour, I'm sure you're aware. This incident occurred 15 years ago. The evidence is dated. The pistol did fire twice. However, we do not know when that second shot was fired. It must have been fired the day before the incident. There is no proof that the second shot had anything to do with this incident.
What? I see. You do have a point, Mr. Wright. The murder weapon was fired twice, as we heard. One of these shots was fired by the defendant, a boy at the time. Do you have any proof that the other shot fired had something to do with the case? Your Honor, I think I'll be able to show you proof.
What? Impossible.
Good question, Nolus. Now, Mr. Von Karma, save your surprise for after you've seen the evidence. Very well, Mr. Wright. Show us your proof. Do you have the evidence that the second firing of the pistol is related to this incident? Check. Oh! There's a bullet hole in the window. Look at this photograph. Look at this photograph. Look at this photograph. Sorry. This is a photograph of the scene of the crime 15 years ago. I can see that the victim lying there is Gregory Edgeworth. This proves the murder weapon was fired twice at the time of the incident. This photo proves it. So, let me get this straight. This photo proves 2 shots were fired? Where? Your Honor, please get a clue. And present. As should be obvious, the contradiction is here. I see. A bullet hole in the door. Your Honor, Gregory Edgeworth was killed by a shot from the pistol. Nolusman, look at this photograph. Kiara? I will not. Lol. Yet there is also a bullet hole in the elevator door. We also know that the murder weapon was fired twice. Thus, someone other than Edgeworth fired that second shot. Order! Mr. Wright, what are you driving at? It's simple, Your Honor. At the time of the incident, 2 shots were fired. One went into Gregory Edgeworth's heart, the other hit the elevator door. Remember that the defendant lost consciousness after the shot he fired rang out? In conclusion, we must agree that the second shot was fired by someone else. Mr. Wright, who else could that someone be? The murderer, of course.
I knew I should have stepped in before your wild fantasies got out of hand.
Time zones indeed, invisible girl. Time zones indeed. Oh, hope you get that grant either way.
Mr. Wright, look once more at the DL6 instant case file. Look closely. Try the case summary page.
The case summary, that's on page 1.
Look what is written there. Not a single clue was found on the scene. If the pistol had indeed been fired 2 times, then the other bullet would have been discovered on the scene.
He does have a point.
The second bullet has never been found. Why? Because the second bullet does not exist.
Yeah, same. I don't think this laptop's that long for this world. I want to build a new a new desktop, but with coded and everything, the new parts are all way too expensive because they are not being manufactured properly. I mean, at a decent rate.
The bullet that claimed Gregory Edgeworth's life was the one fired by his own son. That is the truth of this matter. The whole truth.
Okay, Nolus. Eat well.
It was undoubtedly something else that made the bullet hole on the door.
Order? I will have order. Mr. Wright has proven one thing to us quite clearly. That the murder weapon was fired twice at the time of the incident. However, as Mr. Von Karma says, the second bullet fired was not found. It is highly unlikely that the police merely overlooked this second bullet. So all we have is the single bullet fired. I'm afraid I have to discount the defense's claim.
I praise the judge for his wisdom in this matter.
How'd this happen? I don't believe the second bullet didn't exist. Was I wrong? Have I been wrong about this whole incident?
What are you doing, Nick? Why aren't you raising an objection?
I'm sorry, Mayor.
What?
It looks like I was wrong.
Nick?
If the second bullet wasn't there, then all my conjectures are for nothing.
No. But you said you'd do it, Nick. You said you'd get Edgeworth declared innocent.
I'm sorry. It's just that when I saw the photograph, I thought the two shots had been fired.
Self-doubt's a hell of a drug, Quercy.
I was so certain of it, I thought I'd won. I thought there was another person, someone else who fired the killing shot. But now, I was wrong to think it could be that simple. This case has stood unsolved for 15 years.
Nick.
Well, it seems that we finally cleared up this incident. Only one bullet was found at the scene of the crime. That shot was fired by Miles Edgeworth.
Precisely.
I would like to ask one thing of Miles Edgeworth before passing my verdict. Have you been paying attention to the trial so far?
Yes, Your Honour.
Do you have any objections?
No, I do not.
So, you killed your father, though that was not your intention.
Yeah, it's a bit ridiculous, Quercy. They didn't find the bullet, therefore there was no bullet. But, to be fair, it does set up the main twist at the end. Yes, I did. Oh no, he's accepted the guilt.
Very well. The statute of limitations on the murder of Gregory Edgeworth runs out today. Therefore, I must pronounce the verdict on the defendant today, right here.
Right now. Right here. Right now.
Sorry, I won't do that again. There was a third bullet.
Indeed. Does anyone have any objections?
Okay, I was hoping to finish up by past, but I think I'm just going to finish this chapter.
I've been here before. It's just like my first day in court. There are so many things I know I should be saying. But mine's gone blank. I can't find the words. Mr. Wright? No saves coming, Mr. Wright.
Yep, and what's more, the third bullet was also the first bullet under a different identity.
Your Honour, I object.
Mr. Wright, on what grounds do you object?
Nick?
I don't know. His case is perfect.
Oh no.
Ugh.
It must exist. The second bullet.
What? What did you just say?
Nothing.
The second bullet must exist. But where?
Someone took it.
It seems waiting is not going to produce us any answers from Mr. Wright. Wait, Your Honour. The second bullet, it existed. What? But we've just heard proof that it did not exist.
Must have been American-made. Emergency AK where the fire extinguisher goes. I knew it was really America.
I realise that, Your Honour. I'm really grasping here. It's just someone took it from the scene of the crime. That's what happened. But who? The murderer.
The murderer? Then tell us, just who is this murderer?
I'm still thinking about that one. So the criminal took the second bullet, but why? Huh? First of all, how did I found it? It's not easy to find a stray bullet, Mr. Wright. Was there some pressing need for the murderer to search for that bullet?
Okay, I think it's obvious that the murderer... Someone screamed. It couldn't have been Edgeworth's dad because he hadn't been shot at the time, so... He didn't need it.
Why did the murderer have spent the time to look for that stray bullet? I haven't got a clue. What's wrong, Mr. Wright?
It was an invisible girl with 199 bullets.
Bah, the murderer had no reason to take that bullet. You don't want to admit it, but it's true.
Basically, Yanni Yogi was the murderer in the last case, but not this one. Had to take it.
Had to take it. The murderer. What does that mean?
You're thinking too normal. Think crazy. Don't think why the bullet was taken. Think why the bullet had to be taken. Yeah, same. That does actually seem quite in character.
Mr. Wright? Yes, Your Honour. I have no idea what I'm doing. Well, the murderer had no intention of taking the bullet from the scene, but the murderer had to take the bullet. Had to, Mr. Wright? What do you mean? Well, for instance was, maybe the bullet, hit the murderer?
Ding ding ding. No, this is correct. We have already questioned the parrot. I think it's only uphill from there.
The bullet hit the murderer? Just saying, for instance. I mean, if it hit you, you would have to take it with you, wouldn't you? It's not like you could perform surgery right there. You know? Wait a second. I was just talking off the top of my head, but what if that's really what happened? Let me get this straight. So, at the time of the murderer himself was shot, and they left with the second bullet still inside of them.
As we know from the case of the perjured parrot, parrots are capable of being manipulated. Indeed, indeed.
Thus leaving only one bullet at the scene of the crime. Yes, I guess that would how it would work. But there's a problem with that. The other two people rescued from the elevator, Marge Edgeworth and Yanni Yogi, were both unharmed. So that would mean the murderer came from outside, yes. Where the bullet went. The two men fight inside the elevator. Trying to stop them, the boy picks up the pistol at his feet and throws it. The pistol discharges, and the bullet goes through the elevator door and hits the murderer outside.
And who could that be, I wonder?
The boy loses consciousness. Then the murderer opens the elevator door and sees the men inside. Mr. Wright, you're truly the most unpredictable defense attorney I've ever known. I can tell you're grasping, yet I cannot deny the possibility of what you say.
What are you saying? Deny it. Deny it! No one involved in the incident was wounded. There was no murderer.
No one was wounded at the time of the incident. He's right. I can't think of anyone.
Hey, Nick.
Huh?
I just thought of something really crazy.
Crazy?
Remember what Mr. Grossberg said yesterday?
Gregory Edgeworth does devote to his perfect trial record.
Wow.
It must have been quite the shock for Von Karma. He took a vacation for several months after that, you see.
Yes, an unusual event for the man.
That was the first and the last vacation he's ever taken in his many years of prosecuting.
What if Von Karma didn't take that vacation because of shock, but took it
Because he was injured.
Must be nice.
Which would mean
It
could only mean one thing.
he was the murderer in the DL6 incident.
He was the man who shot Gregory Edgeworth.
It was Von Karma?
Oh man. Something wrong, Mr. Wright? You seem dazed.
Oh, no, Your Honor.
Well? You have indicated the possibility that the murderer came from outside. Can you give us the name of your suspect?
Uh-oh. Should I come out and say it now? Okay, let's do this. Wait, I don't have enough proof yet. This is my trump card. I better save it for the right time.
Mr. Wright, something the matter?
I'm fine, Your Honor.
Shall we carry on with the trial then? That said, we have no farther to go. All that is left is the finish. In other words, the verdict.
What? Not yet.
Think, Mr. Wright. You have said someone from the outside was the murderer. Yet you cannot suggest anyone as a possible suspect, which means your conjecture is worthless. And will be rejected, of course.
Nick! Now that no time to be holding on to that trump card. The trial's almost over.
Alright. I may not know what I'm doing, but here it goes. Your Honor, there is a suspect, one lone suspect.
Well, this is certainly interesting news. Very well, Mr. Wright. Who is your suspect?
My hands are shaking.
For what?
Von Karma.
Von Karma? No one saw that coming.
You mean the Von Karma? The prosecutor? The one standing right over there?
Bah.
You don't object?
I see no need to. Why honor this ridiculous outburst with my rejection?
Because you took a vacation for several months starting the day after the incident. Yet you pride yourself on a perfect record. Why would you take such a long vacation without any reason?
So you're claiming that I took a vacation to heal my injury from the incident? Fascinating. Prove it. I would have needed surgery, no? Where'd I go into the knife? At Mr. Wright. Bring the doctor that operated on me. Have him testify.
Nick! Let's find out who his doctor is. It's no use.
Edgeworth?
I know Von Karma, perhaps too well. He's perfect. He wouldn't leave clues. He probably didn't undergo surgery. That would leave a doctor as a witness.
No, was that perfect?
So what, Nick? Did Von Karma pull a bullet out by himself? That's insane.
No, he couldn't have. He's not Jack Black. You can't just pull bullets out of yourself. Wait, what does that mean? That bullet has to be somewhere, but where?
Well, Mr. Wright, can you produce the evidence to prove that I was shot?
Yes. For we have in evidence a metal detector.
Alright, Von Karma, I'll prove it. And I'll even use evidence. I know how much you like it. I know how you like it so much. What?
The evidence that proves Von Karma was shot is this. Von Karma is perfect. He wouldn't risk surgery leaving an evidence trail. So then I ask, where is that bullet now? I think it's unlikely that Von Karma performed surgery on himself. You don't mean... I do. There's the possibility that the bullet is still inside Von Karma. Is that even possible for all these years? Well, there's one way to find out. We could use this metal detector. Well, Von Karma, I'm going to run this over you and see what we find.
I refuse.
The bullet is in him, Kara.
You refuse? But refusing this means... you acknowledge the bullet is still inside you. Order! 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 Your Honor, the defense requests that we be allowed to use the metal detector.
Judge, I call for a suspension of this trial. This is an invasion of privacy.
The statute of limitations runs out in this case today. It was you who said we had to end it right here, right now. Enough! I permit the use of the metal detector. Mr. Von Karma, you will submit yourself to testing.
Nick, what does this mean?
I don't know, but we have to give it a shot.
Beep, beep, beep.
It reacted. Something's inside his right shoulder. The bullet!
If only Von Karma was more of a fan of LaRue. My god, no less. He's claiming privacy because he's got a Prince Albert. Look it up, Quercy, look it up. If you're under 18, do not look it up.
Mr. Von Karma.
You! It was you!
I was afraid this would happen, and so I remained silent. Indeed, there is a bullet in my shoulder. However, it has nothing to do with this incident.
What?
I was shot in the shoulder long before the DL6 incident. I claim that the bullet in my shoulder has no relation to DL6.
Oh, hey, Froy! You're just in time for the finale. We've proven that the villain and prosecutor Von Karma has a bullet in his shoulder, which we're alleging he got shot with while murdering the rival Edgeworth's father.
But Mr. Von Karma, can you prove that?
Proof? Prove. I have no obligation to prove anything. It's Mr. Wright who must provide something here, not I.
Okay, that's the first time the burden of proof has been brought up in this entire bloody game.
Mr. Wright? Well, can you prove it? Could you prove the bullet in Von Karma's shoulder was from DL6?
Of course he can't. You don't have any of the DL6 evidence.
That's because you took it out of the records room yesterday.
With no proof, you cannot convict me of any crime. So sorry, Mr. Wright.
No, I'm the one who's sorry here, Mr. Von Karma.
What?
You were so close, one day away from freedom. But you see, I have proof.
What?
Who would have thought that you would dig your own grave trying to convict Edgeworth? I can link that bullet in your shoulder to the DL6 incident.
Yep, Phoenix is going full Hamza here. I mean, Hazama. Still bears clear ballistic markings, which can be compared to the one in your shoulder.
That's a bullet?
Where did you get that?
This is the bullet used in the DL6 incident. This was taken from the heart of the victim, Mr. Gregory Edgeworth. The bullet is preserved quite nicely with all the ballistic markings intact. Ballistic markings? You may recall the term. It came up in the first trial 2 days ago. Ballistic markings are the fingerprints of a weapon. All bullets fired from a gun are marked with that weapon's unique pattern. By examining the markings, you can tell which weapon fired the bullet. It's quite accurate. We have 2 bullets in our possession. One, the bullet removed from Gregory Edgeworth's heart. The other, Mr. Von Karma, is the bullet buried in your shoulder. We can analyse both bullets. Then if the markings matched, we would know that both bullets had been fired from the same gun. The very same piece of pistol, in other words. The murder weapon that killed Gregory Edgeworth. Mr. Von Karma, you will let us remove the bullet from your shoulder. Then we'll compare the ballistic markings to those on this bullet.
I mean, how are they going to do all this within 24 hours before the statute of limitations runs out is anyone's guess, but...
And solve this case once and for all. Well, Mr. Von Karma?
Okay, he's just key smashing now.
That scream! I've heard that scream before. Wait, I know. Help, I can't breathe. Quiet, I said quiet. You're not making this any easier. Stop breathing my air. I'll stop you. Stop breathing my air. Get away. Get away from my father. Pew.
I think what we've learned from this is Von Karma's scream is a key smash.
It's the scream I heard in the elevator. 15 years ago. Von Karma, it was you who screamed.
Okay, he was raised by Von Karma and never once heard him scream.
Mr. Von Karma? Edgeworth! Only you would dare defy me. So it was you. You and your father are my curse. Your father shamed me with a penalty on my record. And you left a scar on my shoulder that would never fade. I'll bury you with my bare hands. Death! Death!
Sorry. 15 years earlier.
Chief Prosecutor, I am sorry. Von
Karma, it's not like you to make this kind of error. I would never have thought that Edgeworth would be the one to catch you.
I was careless.
I'm sorry, but you'll have to be penalised. I've covered for you in the past, but not this time.
Yeah, the freakouts are the best part by far.
Edgeworth! It was a shock like none I had ever known. Me? Penalised? It took hours for me to regain my composure. Suddenly, I found myself in the darkness. I was in the court records room. I must have wandered in there without thinking where I was going. The room was pitch black. The lights must have gone out. I went into the hall and felt my way to the elevator. I pressed the button, but nothing happened. Then, there was a noise.
That's right, Kara, he was likely to be eaten by a grue.
I was in pain. A horrible burning pain in my shoulder. Just then, the lights came back on. The elevator door opened before my eyes. I saw 3 people inside, all lying unconscious from oxygen deprivation. Much to my surprise, a pistol lay at my feet. I knew then it was destiny. In his last moments, Gregory Edgeworth was still unconscious. He died, never knowing who had shot him. Later, he spoke through a medium. blaming Mr. Yogi. He was fooled. It was the perfect crime. Who would have thought another man would have come to open that elevator door? Judge,
What?
what are you doing? Do your job. Bring an end to this miserable charade. Now, end it.
Very well. It appears that we have come to a long way to the end of this maze. 15 years later. Mr. Miles Edgeworth?
Yes, Your Honour.
You're innocent. You're innocent. As you said, it was all a nightmare.
Yes, Your Honour.
This court finds the defendant, Mr. Miles Edgeworth, not guilty.
Again.
That is all. This court is adjourned.
December the 28th, 5:38 PM, District Court, Defendant Lobby Number 2.
Nick, we did it! Did you see his face? Montgomery looked like even paler than usual. He's pretending to be all cool, but inside you crushed him, Nick. Crushed! I gotta say, I'm impressed.
It was pretty close, though.
I was sure we'd had it.
I know, I was on the verge of tears the whole time myself. It's very painful to do, Roy. Between Gumshoe, the judge, and Von Karma, my vocal cords are never going to be the same again. It's good exercise, though. I mean, I think, yeah, it's established he got the death penalty, so, yeah. But now it's all a good memory. So it's finally over, Edgeworth. Right.
Yeah?
I'm not sure how to say this. I know. Try thank you. I see. Thank you, right?
You're welcome.
But Backer. I think you could have done better than that. Sorry, I'm not good at this sort of thing. You got a lot to learn, Edgeworth.
She's got you there.
Whoa. Amazing, pal. You pulled through just like I thought you would. I'll never forget this. I owe you £1. And tonight, let's party. Dinner's on me. Yeah, my salary went down a bit this month. But who cares?
That's right, Jenny. The objection game. A game for objecting. You're just in time for the ending of Chapter 4. See, Mr. Edgeworth, you should take a lesson from Detective Gumshoe. That's how you say thank you.
I see.
Woo! I feel foolish. Hey, William Radar. As opposed to the subjection or the version game, of course. Yeah, it's a shame you missed the Cyber Monday package deal. Although, to be fair, I grabbed this as soon as it was available on Steam, so yeah. Don't worry, take it a little at a time. You'll get used to it. It's been 15 years since I've seen Edgeworth this unguarded.
Hey, y'all!
Losser.
Yo, great in there.
Thank you. Yo, Edgeworth, congrats. I apologise for my attempt at a Texan accent. Eat your hamburgers, Apollo. Best awkward zombie strip ever. Thank you all very much.
You're innocent from the start, of course. Just look at you. You wouldn't stick your hand in the cookie jar if no one was there.
You were the witness on the first day of the trial, weren't you?
Yeah, well, let bygones be bygones, eh? Speaking of which, Speaking of which, what are you doing now, Lotta?
Who, me? Oh, I went back to college. I gave it a try to be an investigative photographer real quick. In fairness, William Radar lives in Texas and can't do a good Texas draw themselves. Fair enough.
Really? That's too bad.
Huh? Isn't that the hot dog guy from the park?
Huh? It's over, Nick. My life is over. What? Why the sad face, Larry? What happened now?
Oh, Nick.
I'm not long for this world.
Oh, he's been dumped again.
Oh, you don't look sick.
It's Kiance. She's going to live in Paris. Paris, Nick. She's leaving me behind.
Should have seen that coming.
Yo, Edgy, there you are. Yes, here I am. Congrats, Edgy. Here, a little gift for me in celebration. Celebration? That's unusual for you.
Harry Butts, you come along tonight too, my treat pal.
She can want France if she wants to. She can leave her butts behind. But if she can't, because if her butts can't France, then she ain't no butts of. He ain't no butts of her. Oh, you get what I was going for. Huh? Oh yeah, thanks. Looking forward to it. Yo, Nick. That's the suit that questioned me. When he says treat, that's not police talk for prison food, right? Right? His name is Butts. The associated catchphrase is, when something stinks, it's always the butts.
I think you'll be fine, Larry.
Right?
Yeah, what's up?
That envelope that Larry gave me, it's got money in it.
Well, yeah, that's not that strange. People give money away to celebrate sometimes.
It's $38, right?
Huh? What weird amount? I mean, it's not a little, but it's not a lot either. 38 exactly.
Nick? Wasn't that the exact amount of lunch money that was stolen from Mr. Wedgeworth in school?
$38? No. No, Larry, it was you!
What are you so surprised about, right?
Huh?
Larry was absent that day from school, right? But that doesn't automatically rule him out as a suspect.
What?
Think back to that day 15 years ago. Larry took the day off, but he was bored, so he came to school anyway. Then he saw the money lying there, and the rest is history. Maybe I was going to say pounds. Maybe I was going to say ounces. Maybe I was going to say grams.
I was never good at history. Edgeworth, you didn't know, did you?
I suspected. I just couldn't picture Larry protecting you like he did that day. Everyone else was saying you did it. The whole class was against you, remember?
Yeah, too well.
Right, you may not know this, but we used to have a saying back in school. When something smells, it's usually the buds.
I know.
Really, right? I'm surprised you didn't figure it out.
Well, this is sure an unexpected turn of events, eh? Edgeworth.
You should have told me. Now, Nick, it was 15 years ago. Don't you think the statute of limitations has run out, Mr. Edgeworth? It was apparently for the whole year, Quercy. I prepaid. I'd say so, yes. There you have it.
Where does that leave me? I became a defense attorney because of what you two did.
Well, you could have always been something of an insufferable emotionalist. Yeah, and you get worked up too easily too.
The death sentence for both of you. Man, if I only I'd have known, I'd have become a prosecutor.
The same goes for me, only the other way round. For the longest time, I thought I might have killed my own father. I thought I might be a criminal. I became a prosecutor in part to punish myself. If I hadn't known the truth, I might have become a defense attorney after all.
10,000 years dungeon!
Jail for Edgy! Jail for 1,000 years! Why, Butts? Why did you frame me? Jail for butts! Jail for butts for 1,000 years! Edgeworth. Want to switch right? Hey y'all, line up, I'll take a photo. Hey, photo time, let's go!
And after that, dinner on me.
Detective Gumshoe took us out on the town that night. We celebrated Edgeworth's newfound freedom, even though Edgeworth himself was still in detention. December the 29th, 5:02 AM, Rice & Co. Law Offices. Whoa, I went a little overboard yesterday. My head hurts. Huh? It's only 5 o'clock. Maybe I should go back to sleep. What's this? A letter? When Phoenix Wright proved that soup is a drink, I felt that. Yeah, same, Jenny, same. Good morning, Nick. You were really impressive yesterday. Seeing you, it made me think about what I'm doing here. I'm a spirit medium, in training of course. I wanted to help Mr. Edgeworth too. I wanted to help you, but I couldn't. I was useless. So I've decided to go back to my training. I'll become a full-fledged spirit medium for starters. I couldn't say it to your face, so I left this letter. Goodbye, Nick. Goodbye? What time is it? Yeah, the first trains for the mountains have already left. To the station. It's true. Soup can have solid bits, but so does Boba Tea. I guess I'm too late. Hey! Nick? Maya. So, you're leaving? Yeah. It's hard being a spirit medium who can't talk to spirits. And I think you'd do fine without me, Nick. Be good, okay? Wait. What? Ah, but chocolate was purely a liquid that was drunk and was considered a food even before it became a solid bar. The Catholic Church had a debate about it and everything. I never could have saved Edgeworth without your help. Huh? On the last day of the trial, I heard her. I heard Mia's voice. You heard my sister? Yes, only her voice, but still. It was at the very end when I thought I'd lost everything. Well, that's my sister for you. Detective Gumshoe helps, and Mr. Grossberg, and even Larry. I'm the only one who couldn't help. I was useless, Nick. But you weren't the one who stopped Von Karma, Mayor. Huh? I didn't do anything. All I did was wander around in a daze. Sorry, but I have evidence that you helped. Evidence? Show Mayor some evidence to cheer her up. Oh yeah, she grabbed the bullet. A bullet? Von Karma was convinced he'd taken all the evidence pertaining to DL6. Oh, spilling the tea here, William Radar. Spilling the tea. But you're the one who rescued the last piece of evidence we needed. This is the bullet that put an end to Von Karma. And you were the one who gave it to me. Nick. Thanks, Mayor. I couldn't have done it without you. I'll be back soon. Huh? I'm going to complete my training and come back. Okay, I'll be waiting. Of course you will. You can't run that office by yourself. You're hopeless. Also, she talks to the bird. You're right, Nolus. I don't know about that. So, this is it. Your apocalypse. See you soon, Mayor. Thanks, Nick. It's the best music. And so my story ends. Time to turn a new page.
and say goodbye to the novice defense attorney that I once was. Now a new story begins, with the same old crazy cast of characters. Ha! Don't think you've graduated yet, amateur.
Mr. Wright, perhaps you'd like to rethink that claim.
Yes, Your Honor. Oh, I've got a bad feeling about this. Concept script direction, Shuta Takumi.
Hey pal, Mr. Edgeworth went down to the precinct to wish you a happy new year. Talk about a pleasant surprise.
Whoop! Detective Gumshoe.
And he hung his head low and went right back outside. Kind of like he was embarrassed or something. Strange, huh?
Yeah, it's a visual novel with some puzzles to solve. The next game, well, the last chapter. Huh? Nick? Hey, haven't seen him lately. Who, me? I've been working at a cheese shop. That Missy's a nice lady, but she's not exactly what you call a cheap date. Huh? Oh, she's in Hawaii right now, yeah? Yes, it did. It basically popularised the visual novel in the West after it was ported to the DS from the Game Boy Advance.
Ooh, right. Yes, I remember him. I hear he's been busy lately. You know, not to ring my own bell, but I sort of taught him everything he knows. I'm sure he's grateful.
Of course you did, Mr. Payne, of course you did. Yeah, it's a bit for kids in there. It tries to force the whole thing into an American setting, but...
Phoenix, right? Yes, the defense attorney for whom I wrote the affidavit for. Yes.
You should know I've taken over management of the Gate Water Hotel lately. Should you be in the area, please stop by. Jelly donuts. Man, I could go for a jelly donut right now.
Oh, it's you.
Phoenix, right?
Ah, yes.
Mia's understudy, was he not? I wonder how he's doing. Haven't seen him of late. Ah, the days of my youth. Like the scent of a fresh lemon, you see? Whew. So yeah, there's one more chapter which was a bonus chapter added in the DS version.
Phoenix, right? Is he an actor? Well, I'm not buying it. You could not be a star of a name like Phoenix.
Did you hear the... Okay, I'm not going to strain my throat doing that. Yep, wrong game, William Radar. Yeah, so the last chapter. I'm pretty pronounced. The Pring Prince is a hit. I sure owe it to Mr. Wright a great deal.
Oh, and I'm keeping my face out of the public till my child's show's over. Wouldn't want to ruin any kids' dreams, you know.
Yeah, so it uses a lot more 3D stuff and stuff like rotating. I got a letter from the mayor the other day. Sounds like she caught a cold standing under a waterfall. I wanted to visit, but I didn't have time, so I sent her some princess trading cards. She says she can't buy them where she is. What kind of place is she living at anyway? Penny's so cute. Oh, sorry about that, Kara. I really need to tweak Nightbot.
Right? Who's that? You want to talk? Let's talk Pink Princess, alright?
But, you know, I snuck into that studio the other day. And I saw her. The one inside the Pink Princess suit. Ah, what a dog. It was kind of a shock for a boy my tender age. Okay, Nintendo, really? Yep, sorry, no cruise control for cool here. Yeah, I remember, right? That lawyer guy. Huh, me? I'm in training to become a paranormal photographer. You know, that picture I took of everyone? Well, just behind them, there's a ghost. For real? Now that's talent. I'm gonna be famous. And thus the beginning of Phantasmophobia. Hey there, Mia. How you doing? It is completely in character for Maya to have grabbed that victory sign from somewhere, to be fair. Oh, Turnabout Goodbyes achievement. A brand new episode has been added. I'll be saving my progress. Alrighty, that's it for today then. Thanks everyone for coming. I'll just find someone to raid and then I'll be heading off. Because I've got D&D in 25 minutes. Thanks, Roy. I hope you have a good evening yourself. Yep, you're quite welcome, Kara. 6 hours. Oh yeah, I started a new game lately. On with his cursedness. As the DM. Next year we might be streaming it a bit. Oh yep, see you too, Jenny. See you, Kiara. Thanks for coming by. I hope your D&D game goes well, Kiara. Not Kiara, Nolis. And you're quite welcome, Kara. Come on. Sorry about this, Firefox is being a bit slow. Right, my voice is... Oh yeah, to recap, while Firefox is getting its act together. Obviously, I'll be back on Monday with more Metroid Prime. I'll be doing a makeup tutorial of my Samus look, either Monday or Wednesday, since the Twitter poll for that seems to indicate people are interested. Thursday, obviously I'm streaming with 8-Bit Goggles on his channel, and we're going to be hate watching Other M from start to finish. So, yep, come by, see me torment him and Leggy with puns. Endless puns. Yep, don't miss that. So that's... I'll just put that in the chat for anyone who wants to follow him for that. So yeah, if you want to visit, just follow him. That'll be on Thursday. And he also does fantastic randomizer streams, so that's always worth a look. And the only person I really know who's online right now is Machine Lord Zero, so we'll be raiding him. And the only person I really know who's online... So yep, in conclusion, more Metroid Prime on Monday and Wednesday. Maybe a makeup tutorial, maybe not. I'll be grabbing the last few upgrades on Monday. So we'll probably be broaching the final area on Wednesday. Metroid Other M Thursday. More Phoenix Wright Friday. And if the Metroid Prime's finished next week, I'll be starting Night in the Woods. And also look forward to my May cosplay. Thanks very much for coming. Sorry Amanda, we're just about to finish and raid someone. but I appreciate you dropping by anyway. Okay, so, yep, that's all. Thanks once again, and we'll be raiding in 3, 2, 1, and bye.